I am Nicole D. Jones, and I am just happy and grateful for another day. I'm happy and grateful for life. I'm going to say it every week. I don't take days for granted. I don't take life for granted. I don't take you for granted. So I'm happy and I'm grateful for you. And I'm going to remind you that you are healthy. You are wealthy, you are prosperous. Everything your hands go to touch, it must, it shall, and it will manifest, prosper, and grow great things because you are great. You're created out of greatness. It makes you great. Okay. So, Meal Prep Monday, and y'all forgive me, I'm running a couple minutes behind, but I've been pondering because I always say that we're supernatural in this natural space. And right now, the time that we're walking in is the time when Jesus would have been walking for the 40 days after the resurrection, right? So I've been thinking about the whole life is simple, but what's simple to do is also simple not to do. All right. So this is the thing, because it's Meal Prep Monday. And what I want to share is simplicity is the doorway of transformation, but it's not always the easiest thing to do, which is why I say life is simple, but what's simple to do is also simple not to do. So what do I mean? It means that the things that like the actions that we need to take to change our life or our journey, our perspective, it's not necessarily complicated, but what we have to do is you have to be intentional and you have to be consistent, right? So to change anything, if we want to see anything different in our life, in our journey, we have to be consistent and we have to be intentional, right? So a lot of times we fail, not because it's hard, but because we can't stay consistent if we're just honest. So even like right now, I'm in this whole, trying to eat better. No, I'm not trying, lifestyle change. So eating better, exercising. Like I literally can feel my stretch starting to get tight, right? Like bending over, touching my toes, like I can feel my legs tight. So I am in a season where health wise, I'm eating better. I'm moving more. Like the things that I share on these calls, I am really intentional to do. I don't just be talking about it. But what happens is my struggle is not doing it. My struggle is the consistency. My struggle is I'm intentional, but consistency, it gets me, right? So this is the thing. After resurrection, Jesus didn't disappear immediately, okay? During this time that we're in right now, 2026, from 2,000 years ago, Jesus walked, he taught, he revealed, and he reestablished identity. Okay? So, Meal Prep Monday, where am I at? It's being intentional on becoming. Okay? So, this is the thing. If you think back, the disciples at this point, they already believed, but they had to become. All right. We believe a lot of things. We believe in a lot of things, but now is the time, and there's even a grace where we need to become. There's a grace on us in this season to become, right? So here's the thing. During the 40 days, they weren't doing anything that would be considered complicated. All right. They stayed connected. So what do we need to do? We have to stay connected. Who are we staying connected to? Our three. Who are we staying connected to? People who are intentional on becoming. Who are we staying connected to? Positivity. Who are we staying connected to? With people that we can get with, where we can listen, learn and grow from, and where we can follow their instruction. You have to know the mentors in your life in this season. You have to know you're a part of a church. You have to cleave to the congregation, to your pastor, to what's. This is why you have to be in a body where you know that's where you're called. Okay? This is very simple. Simple to do. But what's simple to do is also simple not to do. What else happened through that time? So, through these 40 days, the disciples received clarity. This is where Jesus had an opportunity to explain to them the things they did not understand while they were happening. So, in this time, there is a grace for us to get explanation of things that may trip us up, that may hinder us. Not to get really it's to get revelation to move forward, okay? We got to get unstuck. We have to learn how to move forward, all right? So, this is the time where there's a grace where you will receive or you should be open to receive more clarity on your true identity. All right? And when I think about it, if we're honest with ourselves, you get more clarity in when you're willing to cleave to those three versus when you busy and all over the place. When you are one where you doing a lot of this and everybody you talking to, you telling them the same thing and what you going through, all you do in that is you open yourself up for more opinions, not necessarily clarity. I think that we talk to a lot of people because we keep talking till we find someone who's going to agree with what we want them to agree with. That is not clarity. All right. They were also being prepared. Okay. So through these 40 days, they were being prepared. Um, they weren't rushed. Like Jesus wasn't rushing them. He was bringing clarity. He was preparing them. Um, there was no pressure. Like, but they had to be in position. All right. They had to be in the posture to receive. This is the time in becoming. You have to be in a position of submission and humility to receive the clarity and the revelation of who you are becoming. This is why it's so important who you are being discipled from. Who are you listening to? Who are mentors in your life? If you were mentored by someone and you stopped, this is the time to pick it up. A mentor shouldn't have to chase you. You should want change. You should want to become. Accountability shouldn't be chasing. I shouldn't chase you. Anybody I'm accountable. Are you accountable? Or you consider me a mentor or someone who's speaking to your life? I'm not chasing you, but I am here. All right? But this is where people miss it too, okay? Because we want to rush processes. So even in mentorship, I have someone, well, I'm not going to do that. Most of the time, when people want my assistance when it comes to their money, they want it quick because they know I know how to repair credit. It speaks for itself, okay? I don't have to say what I know. I know what I know. I don't have to talk about it. The fruit bared itself, okay? So when it comes to finances, people's scores have gone up. People have been able to purchase homes, all these different things. So people will come to me and want this quick fix. but they don't want to go through the process. So, can I tell you what to do with your money and your credit? Absolutely. But is that my focal when you come talk to me? Nope. My focal is getting to the root as to why you don't steward your finances consistently well. Consistently well. I am not saying you're not a good steward over your finances. I'm not even saying that you don't have a good credit score. But why are we not consistently well with it? That's the biggest thing. But a lot of times we want to rush processes. So yes, we can increase our score, we can get our money right, but you cannot rush a process of pulling and digging out root and filling them back up to be good stewards. Okay? So this is the thing. What should we be doing daily? Because, like I said, there's a grace right now. We understand, we can identify, but we should be at a place where we want to become who we are. We're supernatural in a natural space. We should want to be new daily because as long as we're on this journey, we're still discovering ourselves. I told you I shouldn't meet you twice. If we are growing every day, I should not be the same person I was yesterday. If I am intentional and consistent on really wanting to be who God has called me to be. Okay? So, this is the thing, becoming new daily, you have to first choose to become. Mindset. Today, I choose to be. Today, I choose to be the best version of me unapologetically. You have to choose, right? Very simple. That's simple. But what's simple to do is also simple not to do, okay? So, what are some of the ways we could do this? Before you go to reach for your phone, because that's usually what a lot of us do. Our phone's right there on the nightstand if it's not in the bed with us. Before you go reach for your phone, for yourself, I am so happy and grateful now that today I choose to become. Simple, right? I hope someone tries that. Y'all tell me how hard it is not to grab your phone. Okay? So before you grab the phone, sit up, get up, take a breath, say, God, align me in my predestined footsteps. Now, some of y'all gonna tell me, I get up and I pray first. Maybe you do. I get up and I pray, but I'll be lying to you if I tell you I don't pick my phone up first. I do. Okay? Literally. If not to look at the time, I pick up my phone. But then when I go to look at the time, I look at a message. If there's a message, yada yada. Y'all get the point, right? But so what I'm saying, because the thing is, you have to create these habits and you have to, because the hard part is being consistent with it. So I'm just saying, first and foremost, acknowledge God and choose to become for yourself before you start getting into the phone and these other things. All right. The second thing I want you to do is we got to break the autopilot in us. I don't know about you, but some things I do are so routine that I start doing things just out of habit. And all of my habits are not good. So this week, I want you to be intentional to focus on things that you just might do automatically. And when you recognize it, ask yourself these three questions. What am I doing? How am I feeling? And who am I choosing to be right now? I hope that makes sense. Anybody don't understand what I'm saying, you can come off mute. But what I've noticed is we do a lot of things just out of habit. But some of those habits aren't good. When you recognize something, and an example is anything that kind of that might put you in a place of procrastination, that may, steer you off. Like I'm late this morning on my call because when I went to take my notes and put them on another platform, I start scrolling, right? And then once I stopped scrolling, I seen that I didn't finish a game in my phase 10, and I went to phase 10. So in that moment when you recognize it, you need to be able to ask yourself, "Look, what am I doing? And why am I doing it? What am I feeling right now that has made me just go all the way left? Who am I who am I walking in right now? Am I intentional to be my best self right now? Or I'm just kind of and this is what happened. So I'm working. I got my work computer right here. I got my laptop right here and my phone. So I finished the report that I had to do for work at 9:30, but I'm irritated if I'm just honest. There's a lot going on. It's carried over from last week. And so when I went to start prepping my notes for today and getting the text message ready to send, which is why y'all got it at 10 o'clock, I got distracted because what I do when I start getting irritated or frustrated with work or it's a lot going on and I'm trying to block it out, I'll go to games, brain games, like Phase 10, the little arrows, all this kind of stuff. So, in the midst of all that, out of habit, because I was irritated, I went to the game. Because scrolling ain't my thing. Social media don't have, it doesn't have a hold on me. But them games, so when I recognize that, because I need to get ready for the call, I ask myself those things. So I hope that makes sense, right? Because we're just trying daily awareness. And then daily discipline to small things. So your true self, because we got a true self and a false self. Your true self is revealed in how you respond, what you choose, and what you repeat. So this week, for your daily discipline, look at the small things, okay? You're just trying to become more mind conscious. So look at them. How do you respond to things? What do you choose? And what things do you repeat? And you can focus on one of those. You don't have to do all three, right? So if you're one who responds very emotionally this week, when you feel yourself falling into your emotions, choose to respond from peace. Make sense? All right. True identity is really built through small obedience. Your true identity, small obedience. Our problem is we're looking for these big things. Start small. Be consistent with that, and I guarantee you, things that should shed off of you will. Okay? Be grateful. Gratitude is what will naturally slow us down, and it doesn't make you have to stop living. It doesn't have to stop your day. A posture of gratitude, it does this internal thing, right? Because sometimes our days are so busy, but when you're razzled, frazzled, frustrated, irritated, emotional, you've got to get to a place where you can go into a posture of gratitude. Because sometimes in the midst of your day, You can't steal away. You can't afford to take an hour just to woosah. But when we can start, I mean, at a moment, man, I got so much stuff in my thoughts that I know I was just wrong and God did not take me out. It can immediately put me in a posture of gratitude. I am so happy and grateful now that you did not leave me in my mess. You do not leave me to myself. That enough helps me. Okay? We've got to get to a place where we can, when we're off, we can draw and balance ourselves from a posture of gratitude. That is when you know you're growing. That's a sign of growth, actually. Um, do daily pausers. Daily pause. What do I mean? When I feel myself rising up, before I respond, pause. 30 seconds can change the trajectory of what's about to happen. Literally. Okay? We got to learn how to pause. So before we respond, for me, before I put my shoes on and get and walk up out this door, before I react, I'm having to learn how to pause. What does the pause do? Why are we pausing? Pausing actually is what breaks patterns and strongholds. Because it's a stronghold that wants to make you black out. When you can learn how to pause, it gives you more self control. But in the spirit, you are literally learning to break strongholds and patterns that are not healthy for you. Okay? Why do we miss all this? Honestly, because to get and become, it's very simple, small things. We miss all this because we're looking for the big. We want the big revelations. Listen, I don't need no one to prophesy or give me a revelation. I got enough. What I need to do is anchor into what I believe has already been spoken in my life and operate there. We miss this because we're always looking for that revelation. We're always looking for another word. What have you done with the words that have been solidified or confirming in your life already? Ooh, I feel mean. Let me fall back. Let me stop. I'm gonna stop right there. How does this connect to the mindset? I'm gonna tell you this and we're gonna go. Mindset. What do I want you to do? I want you to know, you got to think on this. I don't need to be complicated. My journey does not, I don't need to look at it as it complicated, but I need to know it has to be consistent. It's the mindset you need to have. All right. This journey is not complicated, but I'm not complicating, but I need consistency. All right. What's the educational part? I want you to start being intentional this week to recognize the small moments. When you start seeing these things, start practicing these little things. Consistency is key. They'll go from little to large. Okay? Accountability. Can you just do the simple things daily? Can you actually do them? And your lifestyle. What is this going to do for your lifestyle? It's going to build your identity through repetition. Okay? So just know, like I said, because, God moves in seasons. I say this all the time. And the season that we're in is he's not like he's not giving us something new. He's actually teaching us how to walk into what's already been given to us. So those 40 days that Jesus was walking after the resurrection, because the 40 days, right? Um, he didn't give them anything new, but he did give them clarity and understanding of what's already been given. There is a grace for us to get clarity, understanding, strength, help, and stability of who we truly are. Okay? And to be honest with you, everything, it's very simple. But like I said, what's simple to do is also simple not to do. So Meal Prep Monday, I just want to ask you, will you be consistent enough to become? That's it. So stay focused, stay humble, stay positive. Be the best version of you unapologetically because no one else can do it. Nobody can be you. You are relevant, you are necessary, you are needed, not just to your friends, family, and enemies, but to this whole world. Your name is significant. Your name is important, and your name will be left here. Period. So I am Nicole D. Jones, and I want you to continue to have a fantabulous rest of the day. Smooches.